Got green in my background, green on my shirt, green in my hair, and there ain't no green in that palette. And I love a good throwback as anyone else. Hey all y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So, it's been a while. Products are falling from the sky, and it is time to actually do an anti-haul. An old-fashioned, classic, not gonna buy it anti-haul. Because y'all know that recently I have been doing sort of the more will I buy it, you know, yeah, no, kind of that even middle ground. And I was just thinking to myself, and I was like, why don't I just pick out some things and actually, I mean, let's get down to some nice, very therapeutic trash talking. But before we get into any of that, all y'all better know by now that the anti-haul was created by Amber's Beauty Chair and then popularized into the beauty community phenomenon by Kimberly Clark. We'll be leaving both of their credentials down below. And now let's just get into talking about things I ain't gonna buy. I actually don't have a huge amount, but I do have some pretty, some pretty important things I feel personally to me to say about these things. Now, the first thing is, Miss Jaclyn Hill did finally decide and finally came out and around to releasing her own cosmetics company, which has supposedly been in the works since like 2015, 16? I don't know, Jaclyn Hill is not one of my favorite YouTubers, influencers, creators, whatever. But just like anyone else on the platform, we all deserve to have our dreams made reality. This release has received a fair amount of backlash, mostly because she's been teasing this for like years, whilst she's been doing collab after collab with Morphe. A lot of people were not pleased, and a lot of people were underwhelmed that her first product was simply a lipstick range. They were expecting foundation, concealer, highlighter, the whole shebang bang bang. Now, while I do appreciate the fact that she has like a nude spectrum going on, you know, you've got like a nude for the super pasty, and then you've got a nude for the super deep, dark, delicious melanin. I can 100% appreciate that. But for me, it's just, y'all know, there's one thing that I'm not a huge fan of hers, so that selling point is completely out the window. And also, I'm not a huge bullet lipstick person. If I'm gonna wear a lipstick, I'm gonna go for a liquid lipstick, and I have all kinds of bullet lipsticks that literally sits in that little turnstile thing, and I'm like, you're sitting there and I don't declutter you, but I don't use you neither. And so it's really just kind of a not gonna happen. Then something that I feel like Soraya from like 5 or 4 years ago would have leapt on this in a heartbeat, and that is the Lorac like Brights palette going on. It's the same. They got the row of mattes and the row of shimmers. And they got some bright colors going on. They got some blue and I think a red and whatever going on. So I'm like, I'm a bright color lover. But as some of y'all know, I am a very big fan of the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments palette, which that has all the bright mattes I could ever need. I am a huge fan of the Sugar Pill Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. And recently I have bitten the bullet and become a huge fan of the ColourPop single shadow formula, which has a myriad of bright shades that would all cost me less than this palette, which, let me tell you, it's got the brights, right? And I'm like, okay, you got the brights and you got the correlating shimmer. And then on the end, There's that like taupey color and then that like white shimmer, and I'm like, I feel like a lot of mainstream brands, when they're making a colorful palette, it's like they're going out of their comfort zone. They're like, all right, we got these colors, but then they don't go all in, they don't go ham, and so they've got all these colorful shades, and then they're like, but we've got to put in one safe shade. You know, they're just like, they're not willing to just bungee jump right off the edge, which I feel honestly completely throws off the palette, because it's like, all right, here's this taupey crease shade, but then you've got a red, a blue, and all these other vivid bright colors, and they just don't really correlate. So me from a while ago would have been like, ooh, it's Lorac, it's bright colors, I'ma get it. But new and enlightened Soraya is like, no, I got better brights, I got options now. Speaking of options, some of these products are a little bit older, a little bit stale, as it were. And I do that partly because, I mean, like I said, I would rather do an anti-haul where I have specific strong feelings about something rather than just being like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy this, because that happens with a lot of stuff. I want to actually have a discussion rather than just not gonna buy it. And that is the Dominique Cosmetics, her highlighter palette. Now, initially I saw this and I was like, ooh, yes, Dominique Cosmetics is something that I have gone into and have wanted to go more into. Y'all know I'm a highlighter person. I'm like, I could look past it being a highlighter palette because this is a brand that I'm like, I'm excited to try more from. This could be great. This could be amazing. And then you got the fact that it's a cream. There's a cream. There are 4 pans. One of them's a cream. 3 of them are powders. That's the same reason why I haven't gone all off on Miss Huda Beauty's highlighter palettes. And also, y'all know I have a lot of highlighters. Honestly, like a gazillion of them. And when you have a lot of highlighters, you have a lot of overlapping shades, a lot of overlapping undertones, a lot of overlapping formulas. And aside from the crazy, chunky, big old, giant, bulky packaging, the colors just don't, I'm like, okay, they're highlighter colors, but there's nothing, like the palette is not aesthetically pleasing to me. It does not pull me in. And so that one was honestly kind of a little bit like disappointing, because I was like, oh boy, I was so ready to get my hands on that. And then I was like, no, I'm good, which is probably a better thing. Okay, then we've got this is like the biggest throwback in forever, the Urban Decay Heavy Metals Glitter Collection. They've got eyeliners, I think they've got some like lip toppers, they've got some lip glosses, and the whole aesthetic, the whole visual representation of this collection just screams early 2000s to me. And I love a good throwback as much as anyone else, but this looks not so much throwbacky as it looks non-thought out. It's just kind of like we did that whole heavy metals thing. Let's throw some eyeliners and some lip glosses and some products that we already create, put on a nice little, marketing whatever on it and sell it. Does not interest me in the least. I have tried those whatever eyeliners, they don't do anything for me. I have a myriad of glosses that I don't use. So it's just, I just kind of saw it and I was just like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we're trying to be innovative, and I understand. The market is so saturated that there is hardly anything that hasn't been done, but this just looks so just mediocre. And then if we're gonna talk about mediocre and just whatever, the Too Faced Shake Your Pom-Poms little mini palette. Are people buying these little mini palettes? I know they did 2 for holiday. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. I don't know all of Too Faced's releases, they all look the same. They all just blend in together after a period. And I'm like, okay, all right, so it's shake your pom-poms. And I'm like, all right, so we're going with the palm tree aesthetic now. There ain't no green. There ain't no, I mean, what are palm tree leaves made out of? I'd like green. And I mean, there's kind of that like earthy, grungy, brownie-based green, but the palm leaves aren't that color. Palm leaves are like vivid. Are these palm leaves? Are these palm leaves? I don't think so. But they are this color. Green. You see the green? Green in my background, green on my shirt, green in my hair, and there ain't no green in that palette. It's just like, oh look, here are some leftover shades from other releases we did that didn't do so well. Let's stick them in a cute little baby palette and give it a cute little shake your pom-poms name and sell it. All right, Too-Faced, if that's what makes you happy, you do you. Okay, and then one I'm trying to understand it, and if any of y'all are like way more well-versed in the color theory, whatever, of makeup, let me know down in the comments below. Maybe I'm just not well-versed enough. But the Lime Crime, like, summer collection, that whole, like, sunburnt situation going on that I got, like, 12,000 emails for. And I'm like, okay, alright, we've got the orange, we've got yellow, and I understand yellow blush was a thing for a hot minute on Instagram and on several of the fashion runways. But it's face palette, and it's got the bright, I mean, it's like friggity fracking carnation yellow. It's not like a yellow-based orange. No, it's like sunshine big bird yellow. And then it's got like this deep bronzer, and this like deep gold and like bronzy highlighter. And just looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I guess it's kind of pretty and it exudes that, you know, festive summer whatever, but for me, and like, this is as tan as I am going to get all year, it just ain't gonna work for me, and I would like to play with the idea of like yellow blush. Maybe you can do some kind of like blush draping with it, but I'm not sure. Then one that Miss Huda Beauty released her Resting Boss Face Setting Face Spray, which I don't know if y'all know, but the first ingredient on that is alcohol. I don't know if some of y'all are familiar with the properties of alcohol, whether in drinking form or in, you know, antiseptic cleaning form. But the properties of the alcohol is that basically it takes every ounce of moisture out of your face and then replaces it with a desperate need for exfoliation and some very severe TLC. It just seems a little bit dangerous to me that you're like setting your face and you're like, you know, yeah, we'll have water and coconut and argan oil and all kinds of whatever awesome sauce skin benefits, and then it's like, well, let's just put some alcohol in this can and spray it on your face. So I'm not getting it for the fact that it ain't gonna give me no dewy, hydrated complexion mimicking. And it may honestly just wreck the whole pH balance and everything just going on with my skin. That is something I am not going to be picking up with a very big capital something. Alright, that is it for this particular anti-haul. Like I said, there weren't a huge amount of things that I really wanted to like expressly talk about, simply because there is so much coming out, and there's so much that just gets thrown out that I'm like, no, not gonna happen, rather than things that I feel very strongly and passionate about. Well, I've got so many specific reasons why I'm not buying you and why I'm kind of mad at your existence. But that is what we have here. Definitely let me know your opinions and your thoughts on the products I talked about. If you have them, you love them, you recommend them, you hate them, you agree, you disagree, Y'all know how it go. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!